Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ashley and today we're in a very different place in my house filming. So I have a different backdrop. The audio probably sounds very different. I'm in my living room, which has hardwood floors, so you might be hearing a little bit of an echo. Also, I have two sleeping little babies right next to me, so hopefully they will stay asleep while I film this video. I also have two dogs in the other room, so you might hear them, and a cat that might make an appearance at some point as well. I don't know. This is going to be an interesting video, but I just could not wait to sit down and film because this morning this arrived and I'm very excited about it. I'm very excited about it. So I wanted to sit down and do kind of a first impression sort of video. So I am already wearing all of my face makeup, but I'm just really excited to have received this. Now I know in my temptation station I said that I was not sure if I was going to buy it. I love purple eyeshadow. I love purple in general. I would say probably purple is my favorite color. Not sure, but this packaging for one is gorgeous. Gorgeous. This is honestly the first naked palette in a very long time that I've been compelled to buy. Now, yes, I did kind of rag on it, and I will continue to kind of rag on it because I feel like there is a missed opportunity in here. So these shades, I don't really understand why Urban Decay didn't go with cooler toned shadows if we were going to go with some neutrals over here, which neutrals are fine, but why didn't we kind of go for it and make it cool toned? So I stand by that sort of feeling, but the palette as a whole is so beautiful and I just really wanted it, so I got it and I'm not mad at it. So let me go ahead and I'm going to pull my hair back, probably zoom you in just a little bit closer, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put this on my eyes. Alrighty, so I have you zoomed in a little bit tighter and I have gone ahead and pulled my bangs back. I just can't seem to function with my bangs in my face. And we're gonna go ahead and start. I have already primed my lids using my MAC Painterly paint pot and then set that down with just a cream colored shadow. And we are going to be doing a very purple look today, I think is the way to obviously go with this. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with Optimized, which is this shade right here, and I'm going to build that through the crease. I'm going to go ahead and use the brush that came with it because why not? Usually the brushes from Urban Decay are pretty good. Urban Decay ones are usually pretty good, and the ABH ones are usually pretty good too. So I am just going to go ahead and build this up in the crease. Pastels for me are difficult. I just don't feel like they look as good on my skin, probably because my skin tone is so light that I feel like pastels on me tend to come off a little bit, I don't know, underwhelming, I suppose. I don't know if you can hear or not, but one of my girls is squirming. I'm hoping she'll fall back asleep. I made sure to feed them and get them into a happy, hopefully dreaming place before sitting down to film, but we'll see if that turns out to be the case. This shade is applying very nicely. So it is a matte in the pan, but I feel like it's almost sitting on my eyes more like a satin, which I'm not mad at. I'm definitely not mad at. I think it's really nice. But it's just interesting, I guess. Alright, and I am building that up pretty significantly. Because again, pastels for me are difficult. Now, I am going to take Warning, which is this shade right here, and I kind of want to put that all over my lids. Yeah, I think we're just gonna go for a very vibrant look today. Ooh, that's not looking much different. I'm probably using just the wrong brush altogether for this particular shade. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and switch brushes and grab something that is a little bit more intended for packing, something that's gonna be a little bit stiffer. So I think I'll get better results. Where is my favorite brush for packing? Here we go. This is the Morphe M167. I love this guy. I have a couple of them because I just feel like it works so well. There we go. That's giving us a little bit better color payoff. And I think the thing that drew me in the most about this palette is the complexity of a lot of these shades. Like this that I'm putting on right now, I don't think it's picking up on camera, but there is like a blue shift to it, which I think is just so cool. I am a sucker for duochromes and multichromes and things like that. And I don't know that these are necessarily marketed in that way, but there is definitely a subtle blue shift to this Warning shade, and I am absolutely loving it. I think it is really neat. And I think it's probably picking up on camera maybe a little bit pinker than it is in reality. And that's probably because I'm still working on the settings for this camera. So it is not always as true to color as I want it to be, but I'm working on it. It's a learning process, right? All right, I think that's really pretty. Ooh, I am losing eyelashes left and right. That can't be good. Okay, and then on the outer corner, I think I'm going to go with Euphoric, that shade right there. See if I can build that up along the outer edges. Where's a stiffer brush? There we go, that feels good. This is a Makeup Geek domed eyeshadow brush, I think is all it's called. Soft dome brush. Use that to see what we can do with Euphoric along the outer edges. May need something just a little bit denser, we'll see. Yeah, I think probably so. I am definitely getting some kick out from Euphoric, but I'm not noticing fallout from the second shade that I used, Warning. So that's good. Especially since today, since I knew that I wanted to film this video, I did my face makeup first. Typically, I tend to do my eyes first so that I don't have to worry about not being messy. But today, since I knew I wanted to film just with eyeshadows, I went ahead and did it first. And I hope that you can see the tonal variation, because this shade is really cool and really pretty. It's got a lot more blue to it. And I think that's something that I really liked about this palette, is that it has, for the purples that are in it, it's got a lot of really complex shades, and I appreciate that. These are not shades that I can think of that I have in my collection, although I am planning to go through and seeing what shades I have that might be able to dupe some of these. So in case there are just specific shades that you're looking for, or maybe you don't want to spend $49 on a palette, wouldn't blame me a bit, you might be able to, you know, dupe what you want to from it. So I'm just going to try to sweep away some of the fallout from Euphoric, because I think the brush that I used was just too fluffy for the effect that I wanted to go for. But I really like it. I think it looks really, really pretty. And I like the way that the two shades kind of blend into one another. And when you kind of move your head, it creates even more of kind of a shifty sort of look to it. I do like that a lot, actually. So what do we want to do now? Let's go ahead and let's take a little bit, and I may regret this, but let's take a little bit of Hacked, this shade right here, which this shade is kind of interesting looking. In the press photos, it definitely just looks straight up brown. But now that I have it in my hand, it is brown, but it's like a mauve-y brown. And so I appreciate that because it does tie in a little bit better with the palette by having that sort of mauve-y undertone. To be fair, it really is, at least from just looking at the pan, it really is just these first three shades that are a very warm orangey sort of shade. And so I think that that sort of helps with my feelings of why didn't they just go for an all purple, which, to also be fair, Urban Decay doesn't call this a purple palette. I think just with the name Ultraviolet and the predominant, like where your eye goes to all the purple shades, I think everybody feels like it's a purple palette, as it should be. Just so that we can continue on with the trend. This is, oops, too high. This is by Suva Beauty. This is their 410. I really love this brush. I only have a couple of Suva Beauty eyeshadow brushes, but they're really nice. I wouldn't mind getting some more at some point. Now, using the sort of dense domed pointy end, does that make sense, of the brush that came with the palette, I think I want to take a little bit of Purple Dust, this glittery plum shade here on second to the end, and I'm just going to use that to kind of smoke out the outer part of my lower lash line. Oh yeah, woo! Don't mind clumsy me. Yeah, I like that a bunch. That looks nice. I like that. Okay, so we're going to do just a few more things because I want to use as many shades as makes sense in this palette. So let me find just a really small little bitty brush that we can use for the brow bone and inner corner highlights. What do we got here? There we go. We'll use this little Morphe brush. It doesn't have a number or a name, but we'll use that. And then I'm going to take Drippin', which is this light shade, kind of a peachy metallic shade here on the end. And I'm going to use that to go underneath my brow. It's got very subtle. Yeah, I mean, it looks like a satin in the pan, but it is definitely not coming across all that intensely on my brow bone. Just kind of a disappointment. Use a little bit on the inner corner. It does definitely bring some brightness, but I think it'll probably do well as like an eraser shade, not necessarily a highlighting shade. But the reason that I use, ooh, it's powdery too. The reason I use this one is because I think what everybody is kind of really losing their marbles about is this center shade right here called Lucid. This is definitely a sort of shifty duochrome sort of shade, and I kind of want to put it on the center of my lid. Now, I'm probably going to regret it because I'm really kind of digging this sort of multifaceted bright purple look, but we're gonna go with it because why wouldn't you? It just seems like a lot of fun. So I think I'm actually gonna use my little finger to do that and just sort of pat it on here in the middle. Oh yeah, that is really neat. You know, I'm a sucker for the neat shades. Uh-oh, and the girls are starting to fuss. Girls are starting to fuss. Oh, that is so pretty. Like, this is a really neat kind of topper shade. I'm really curious to see how well it can be built up just by itself. Just look at that. That's so pretty. Yeah. Yeah. Look at that. I love that. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead, jump off camera, put on some mascara, put on a different color lip, pull my hair down. We'll come back and we'll take a look at the final look. All right, my friends, here we are back with the final look. All I did was pile on a whole bunch of my Hourglass Caution mascara. I added a little bit of Charlotte Tilbury's Very Victoria from my project pan, and this is what we have. I think the lip turned out to be a little bit warmer than I was expecting. It in the tube, it's a very kind of dusty, yeah, kind of a dusty mauve, but it definitely looks warm with this look, but we're just gonna roll with it. So overall, I am really very happy with the way that this eyeshadow look came out, and I'm really excited to kind of dive into this a little bit more. So I think if you guys are interested, I want to try to do a dedicated 3 looks 1 palette video. Let me know if that's something that you would be into. Just comment in the description box below, because I think that this palette has the potential to be a lot of fun, And like I said in the beginning, I haven't been excited about a naked palette in a while. The Naked Cherry kind of pulls at me from time to time, but really not enough to have purchased it. And that came out when? Like a year and a half, 2 years ago, something like that. So definitely glad that I picked it up, and I really want to see what else this palette can hold for me. I hope that you have enjoyed this look. Is this a palette that you have picked up or that maybe you're wanting to pick up? Definitely let me know what your thoughts are. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I hope that you're having an amazing day, and I will see you next time. Bye.